to another power-packed Phillips podcast. Or should we say, welcome to another prolific, power-packed Phillips podcast. Yeah, then I'd have to change it to P to the fifth power, so we'll drop the prolific, for today at least. Please make yourself a note. Don't forget, homework tonight is workbook page 48, problems 3 and 4. Also, just a quick reminder, if you were absent yesterday, or if you were present yesterday but just not paying attention, because I know that would never happen with any of you, you'd be channeling your inner Jets or Titans. You have a new EOC review sheet this week. Problems 1 through 5 and problems 6 through 10 are already worked out for you in Blackboard. Just have to log into Blackboard, go to the recorded online session. They are under the date of November 19th and November 26th. Your packet's due to me next Monday. Directions for retaking Chapter 4 tests are also in Blackboard under announcements, and we are still keeping an eye out on the Week 6 scores. All right, please write in your spiral. This is going to be lesson 5.3. Again, part 3. We're talking about point slope form. Remember that point slope form is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. That's kind of like starting our campfire with a magnifying glass. And don't worry, don't be like this Vikings fan. You do not have to memorize point slope form. Remember that point slope form will be on your EOC end of course reference sheet, cheat sheet. You just need to know how to plug and chug the numbers. Remember, m is going to be our slope. x1, y1 are going to be a point on the line. Hopefully this is what the Vikings fans will look like in 2 weeks after the Bears leave town. I'm going to ask that you take out a piece of graph paper. As always, draw your xy coordinate graph. Go to the right, positive 10, go up 10, go left, negative 10, and go down, negative 10. I'm going to pause this podcast, step away, go get some iced coffee. I'll be back in a minute. Draw your graph. In your spiral, please write, graph the equation. I would like you in your spiral also to write the equation y minus 1 equals 2 parentheses x minus 1. And then you might want to draw yourself the arrows like I did here. And underneath it, in your spiral, write y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. And then make yourself a note that this is the point slope form. Please write in your spiral that to graph the equation, we are going to find the ordered pair and we're going to find the slope. Before we can graph this, we're going to find the ordered pair and the slope. Well, slope should be easy because in math, m stands for slope. So we know that the slope of this line, the slope is going to be 2. Now we have to find the ordered pair, and you have to be very careful because if you don't do it just right, you are going to end up like this kid skateboarding here, and you're going to do it wrong. So pay close attention. This can be a little tricky. This is the wrong way. What happens is the kids will say, oh, I found my ordered pair. My ordered pair is easy. Mr. Phillips is going to be negative 1 and negative 1. So they say that y1 is negative 1. Then they say x1 is negative 1. That is epic fail. That is incorrect. That is wrong. Let me show you why that is wrong. If you just take the numbers out of here, it won't work. Here's why. If you tell me that y1 is negative 1, when I replace, substitute y1 with -1, look what happens. You get 2 negatives in a row, and 2 negatives in a row change to a plus. But check it out, we're not supposed to have plus, we're supposed to have minus. Also, remember this is the incorrect way. If you tell me that x1 is -1, when you put a -1 over here, it messes everything up, because then we have 2 negatives in a row, and then that changes to a plus, and look, we're not supposed to have a plus, we're supposed to have a minus. Now, let's do it the correct way. Make yourself a note on your paper. You need to do the inverse of the numbers to find x1 and y1. I put a star by it because that's important for you to remember. You need to do the inverse of the numbers to find x1 and y1. What do you mean, Mr. Phelps? The inverse of -1, -1 for y, the inverse is 1, or you could say the inverse is +1. The inverse of -1 over here under x, the inverse of -1 is +1. So I'm going to do the inverse of these numbers to get my ordered pair. That will come out correct. Here's why. If you put 1 or +1 over here, we get y minus 1. Y minus 1. It checks. Over here, if we put 1 or +1 in for x, we get x minus 1. Look below. I have x minus 1. So the key to being successful is to use the inverse of the numbers to find x1 and y1. Use the inverse of these numbers to find x1 and y1. Now that I have an ordered pair and a slope, let's graph it. Remember that our slope is m, which is 2. So rise over run is going to be 2 over 1. My ordered pair was the inverse of -1, -1. That gives me +1 and +1. So I'm going to start at the middle. I'm going to go right 1 and then up 1. Now my slope is up 1. Whoops, my bad. You didn't catch it. Go back to sleep. No sweet swish for you. My rise is up 2, right 1. So I'm going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. Put dots at those points. Notice that you are getting farther away from the y-axis. So at some point in time, your brain needs to tell you, make a U-turn. Make a U-turn. So you're going to have to go left 1, down 2. Left 1, down 2. Left 1, down 2. You got it. Left 1, down 2. I do believe that we cut through the y-axis here at -1. There's our answer to the problem. They asked us to graph the equation. Our y-intercept would be right here at -1. Please staple your graph into your spiral. Thanks for watching. BTW, I'm almost up to 600 views on YouTube. Keep hitting those view buttons. Maybe we'll get to 1,000 before May. LOL.